Welcome back to the Gardening with Joe and Holly radio show. Time for your questions, our answers. If you've got a question, fire it on over here at gardentalkradio@gmail.com. That's gardentalkradio@gmail.com. Whether you're listening on the radio, podcast, in-studio video replay, certainly do that. You can also give us a call anytime to 1-800-927-SHOW. That's 1-800-927-7469. We'll see what we can get through to the top of the hour. All right. How much does it matter? How much does it help soaking large seeds, corn, peas, squash, beans? Does it help? Does it hurt? What's the good thing here?
Yeah. So seeds all have a seed coat. Basically, is the outside harder portion of the seed. If you open something like a pumpkin seed, sunflower seed, you're eating the seed coat. If
the meat of it,
the meat is inside in the seed coat. So even the smaller seeds have that. It's just more smaller, right? So soaking seeds such as corn and squash seeds, etc., okra. People soak okra, even pea seeds. Does help. It does help the germination. Is it required? No, but it can help. So if you are like, hey, I want to give my seeds a little boost. You're bored on a Friday night, you want to soak some seeds, I say go for it.
Well, that's good and all, but be aware of how much you are going to plant, which means how much are you going to soak. If you only need 40 pea seeds and you soak a whole pound of them, you got to go somewhere with those pea seeds because you're not really a good shot of letting them dry back out.
Well, that's part of your Friday night fun.
Yeah,
you go out to your garden
in the dark with flashlight.
Flashlight, figure out, make your neighbors wonder what you're doing.
Now, large seeds. Now, carrots or parsnips or radishes, don't worry about soaking them. It's not going to be beneficial. But seeds like this, also okra. You can soak okra seeds in 2% milk, and that lactic acid in the milk will help break down the seed coating. And these seeds you want to soak for maybe 12 hours. I wouldn't go any more than really 12 hours. Get them hydrated and go there.
Okay, so I have several established apple and pear trees. I don't like to spray, but I do end up with much of a harvest and decide to try spraying. So I'm looking for something organic. I have red sulfur is a good option, but sometimes I've only found granules. Could you recommend a product or some other suggestions? Keep the informative shows coming. So there's lots of good organic options at your local garden center, and depends on the issue.
Independent garden center.
Yeah, independent garden center. It depends on the issue. I don't have this listener didn't indicate what the issue was. Essentially, it sounds like maybe
one more of a broad answer to kind of give a direction.
Right. So it comes to, there's oils, copper, lime, sulfur. Those products are applied when the foliage is on the tree. You can cause phytotoxicity, which is damage or burning of the leaves. So if it's ever like, even late fall is a little bit iffy. You want to do something like definite winter. So once all the leaves have dropped from the tree up until the point before budding, you are safe to spray whatever it could be on that tree. So it's typically like December, January, February, you're safe, depending on where you are, maybe March. Like here where we are, March is fine. So what you want to do is you want to go to your local independent garden center, speak with them about your issue, and then see what they have. And then that's when you would spray it on the tree. If
you can get photographs and then show the person at the independent garden center, here's what I'm dealing with, that usually can help accelerate and get a better diagnosis of what the issue is. When applying any of these things on a fruit tree, as well as fertilizer or any type of chemical, organic or non-organic, follow the instructions. If it says X amount per gallon of water, that's what you need to do, is X amount per gallon of water. Just don't go, well, if it says 1 cup per gallon, I'm going to give her 2 cups because that means it's going to get better faster. That's not how that works. Don't waste your money by doing more, because you can also increase the damage. You can also damage more than you are going to help by not following the instructions. It seems like a simple thing, but people don't follow the instructions. This is not putting a table together that you got from IKEA. This is spraying chemicals, organic or non-organic, on a tree, on your lawn, on your vegetables.
Right. So another question is how do you know when to water?
Yes and no. Your mileage may
That wasn't a
vary.
yes or no question.
Your best indicator of when in containers or raised beds or ground is your finger. Push your finger in the soil. If it feels damp, down, go all the way down past your knuckle. If it feels damp, you don't need to water. The key to healthy vegetables in any atmosphere or any situation is damp soil, not wet, damp like a sponge. If you bring your finger out and it's bone dry, you've probably waited too long to water. Root maker, in your grow bags, you got Dripworks irrigation system, you got Eaton Brothers soaker hoses and timers in order to constantly keep the soil moist, not damp. Because when you dry your soil out, it takes a tremendous amount of water to rehydrate it. Secondly, you can, by drying the soil out, prevents the plant from uptaking moisture, which can damage the cell walls, which can inhibit and introduce diseases and infestation of bugs. A weak plant is a susceptible plant to insects. So there's no direct this is how much you need to water, and this is how often. It all depends on many different environmental factors in your backyard. But be vigilant and either be proactive and have a system set up where it's constantly giving moisture to the soil, or you're constantly checking on a daily basis. So with that being said, we come to the portion of the program of what we learned today. I learned that there is a tremendous amount of deep diving into the formulation of a natural insect chemical, organic, in order to kill beetles, grubs, and Japanese beetles and larvae.
Right, that's pretty amazing. I learned that dandelions can travel across the Atlantic Ocean, apparently, and go overseas.
At least 27 miles
At
locally.
least 27 miles locally.
Domestically.
Domestically. Are these domestic dandelions?
I don't know.
What we learned today is brought to you by honeybeehealthy.com. Whether you're a gardener, bee hobbyist, or professional beekeeper, Honey Bee Healthy has the products to help you maintain a healthy and thriving garden. For more information on how to use Honey Bee Healthy Inc. in your garden, visit honeybeehealthy.com.